Hey. Alright. Yeah. Most High Christ bless. Listen, yeah, woke up from my sleep, dressed like a king. Crown got 12 stones that represent my kin. 12 gates, 12 names, they know it's us, they know it's Jake. Just keep the law and keep the faith, and if they hate, then let them hate. The kingdom come, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Ask your reverend if he teaching about repenting, if he know about that verse on how to get the kingdom. Ask. Woke up from my sleep, dressed like a king. Crown got 12 stones that represent my kin. What you know about Ephraim? Know about Gad? What you know about Manasseh, Zebulun, Benjamin? What you know about Simeon, Levi, Issachar, Reuben, Asher, Naphtali, Judah? What you know? What you know about Moses in the Red Sea, Egyptian and the Pharaohs getting slayed cause they won't free the Hebrews, so we sent them 10 plagues. Didn't listen, so we killed them in the sea. Made it out of bondage, headed to the promised land, went to the mountain, it was written.
Brother Uriel, Most High in Christ bless. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and honor to Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai King. Today is a good topic we want to talk on today, talking about the effeminacy of the church and the effeminacy as for our men as a whole. And it's running rampant out here. We have a lot of confusion that's going on. A lot of people are getting emotional when they see the prophets of the Most High bringing out the word, and they're calling us a hate group. So first and foremost, I want to first start by saying I don't approve of anybody calling nobody out of their name because of them not receiving truth. We have to understand first that we are the ones that are supposed to plant the seed. The Most High gives the increase. So that person or that brother may not receive what you're going to say to them or receive truth on that day, but the Most High may work. So you want to be careful about how we enforce the word, but not sacrificing someone's integrity, but not doing it and not sacrificing emotions. So first and foremost, we want to start by going to Hosea. The book of Hosea. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no more priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. So from there, we got to understand, because I hear a lot of Christian brothers saying we have to come to our brothers and sisters in love. We got to show them the love of Christ. Now, before we go there, I want to go to 1 John. 1 John. And I want to read 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. And it says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world. Now we have to understand that the Most High gives the prophets, the Most High give the preachers a specific charge that they have to keep, and a specific order that they have to keep. From there, we're going to get that. We're going to go to Ecclesiastics. Now, I hope you got your pencils and your papers together, because the Bible says that precept must be upon precept, here a little, there a little, line upon line. We can't take and we can't read the Bible like a novel. The Bible has to be pieced together properly. So from there, we're going to go to Ecclesiastics. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, it says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep the commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. The reason why a lot of Christian people cannot understand the way the prophets is coming out of the Bible, because they do not fear the Most High. The Bible clearly states, I'm going to read that again because there was something very profound that was said there. It said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, keep his commandments. Listen here, for this is the whole duty of man. Okay, so now from there we want to get the love of God, Most High, how the Most High tell us how to love our fellow brothers and sisters. So from there we're going to go back to 1 John. We're going to go back to 1 John. And 1 John chapter 5, and we're going to start reading at verse 2, and we're going to read 2 and 3. It says, by this we know that we love the children of God. This is how you can know that your pastor or your fellow person that's supposed to be bringing forth the word, your mentor and Christ, loves God and actually loves you. Most High said, by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keeps his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So the Most High just said right here, John just said right here that the only way you can love God is by keeping his commandments. And the only way you can love your brother or your fellow brother or sister is by keeping the commandments of the Most High. Now from there, I want to go to Revelations chapter 22. Revelation chapter 22. I want to read verse 18 and 19. It says, for I testify unto every man that hears the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. Verse 19. And if any man shall take away any word from the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things that are written in this book. In other words, you will not make the kingdom if you add to the word of the Most High, and you will not make the kingdom if you take away from the word of the Most High. So anytime we're talking about the love and what Most High says love is, we have to go to the scriptures. Love is not emotion. Love is an action. We cannot get, we have got emotional. Now from there, I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 58. We're gonna go to Isaiah chapter 58. Isaiah 58. Now, when you see the brothers, the prophets out there bringing forth the word, they're implementing Isaiah 58 because our people are stiff-necked people. Now, we have sit-downs where you can come and you can ask the question, but the reason why we're out there bringing forth the word, because most of our people are not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. So we're not trying to debate you out there on the streets. If you look at any video, most of the time the person that gets the most emotional is the so-called churchgoer that comes up that asks questions to try to rebuttal the scriptures and get cut in the word. So from there, Isaiah 58 and 1, it says, cry aloud, spare not, meaning we're not sparing what you feel. This is the reason why the church is packed out right now, because the church, the Christian pastor has spared the feelings of the sinner. And the reason why nobody is changing and nobody's coming back to these laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, clearly stated that this is the whole duty of man, because we have compromised the gospel for tithes, for offering. We have compromised the gospel for membership. So the scripture says, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. Now, what happens is we see this, the prophets out there bringing forth the word, and they say they're yelling. They're so confrontational. The Bible tells us to cry aloud because we're not only dealing with the person that's trying to debate or rebuttal what we're saying or what we bring forth the scriptures. We want everybody to hear. Now, this is the thing that gets me. The Christian pastor can run around the church, do backflip, slide, do the hokey pokey, and scream as loud as he wants over a mic in a small room. But nobody ever says that they're screaming too loud. Why are they doing all this screaming? Makes sense, don't it? But we're going to go ahead and continue with the scriptures. So we got to understand, he said that we want to come with love. We just read that the love of the Most High and how we love our brothers and sisters is by keeping the commandments. So we're going to understand, and a lot of people say, well, they got to come in the Spirit of God. We want people to come in the Spirit of God. That's why nobody is being received. No, the reason why you reject the prophets is because you refuse to change. The reason why you won't come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, because it requires change. It requires you to cut people off. It requires you to cut things off. You can't stay the same when you're in this truth. So now we want to go to John, the book of John, not the epistles, the book of John. And we're going to go to chapter 6. Chapter 6 and 63, this is the Messiah speaking. It says, it is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words, again, the words that I speak to you, unto you, they are spirit, and they are life. Understand this, the Spirit of God is his word. So anytime we speak back the word of the Most High, it's either one or two things going to happen. Either your fellow brother or sister is going to be fearful and repent, or they're going to run and flee. But the Bible says the wicked run when no man pursueth. So from there, we're going to go to Psalms. Go to the book of Psalms. Now, we just got done talking about the Spirit. So we're going to, the scripture says we have to worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. We just got what the Spirit is. Now we're going to understand what the truth is. Psalms 119 and 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Thy law is the truth. Understand the spirit and in truth. The spirit is the word and the law is the truth. So this is how we worship the Most High in spirit and truth, by reading and implement his word into our life and implement his word into our spirit, as well as keeping his laws. We have to understand that, brothers and sisters. We have to come out of Mystery Babylon and understand what Revelations chapter 22, 18, and 19 said. We cannot add to the scriptures, and we cannot take away from the scriptures. We have to hold our leaders, we have to hold the people that preach and teach the word to us accountable for every single thing that comes out of their mouth. And we have to study to show ourselves approved. We cannot continue to be sheep led to the slaughter. We cannot continue to be sheep that's sitting there every Sunday listening to a man scream, holler, jump up and down in the pulpit and go home lost. We have to go to the scriptures about everything. So from there, the reason, and a lot of people, I know the next question a lot of people are going to say is, why do you run to the scriptures for everything that you have to bring forth? Why did the Hebrew Israelites always go to the scriptures? We're going to show you right now why we go to the scriptures for everything. Because that's what the Most High says to do. We're going to 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. It says, prove all things. Hold fast to that which is good. You have to prove everything that comes out of the scriptures. I myself have sent invitation to many people that debated or wasn't in agreement when it came down to what us as Hebrew Israelites, and I hate to keep on saying I hate to keep on saying Hebrew Israelites, because we have to understand this is not a religion. When we say that we're Hebrew Israelites, this is our bloodline. This was the bloodline that was passed down to us from our forefathers. So do not put us in a category with a religion far as Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism. We are not a religion. This is who we are. This is our lifeline. So why are we so adequate? Understand, do not take our passion and our love for our brother and our sister as being hateful. So we want to go to Jude, that small little book right before Revelations. We're going to go to Jude. Jude 23, it says, the others saved with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. We have to go snatch our fellow brethren out of the fire. There's no way that a fellow Hebrew Israelite that knows the truth, that knows that they're supposed to keep the commandments of the Most High, and knowing that everybody that calls themselves a Christian pastor is teaching falsely, that's teaching false religion and traditions of man, should ever reverence them as a pastor or a man of the Most High, because that's clearly not so. So 1 John, we're going to go to 1 John. Salaki, we're going to go to John. 14. And verse 15. This is the Messiah speaking. The Christian church teaches you that Christ came and done away with the laws. It says in John chapter 14, verse 15, if you love me, keep my commandments. And from there, real quick, before my phone died, we're going to go to Matthew. Matthew chapter 5. And in verse 17, it says, think not that I come. This is the Christ speaking. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. What did the prophets teach? What did the prophets bring forth? The prophets brought forth the law. He said, think that I came not to destroy the law nor the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, not one jot nor tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Understand this, is the Antichrist on this earth. Has Satan been cast into the bottom of this pit? These are future prophecies who haven't came past. Can you see heaven and earth? Yes, you can. So heaven and earth has not passed. So the law has not changed. The law is still in effect. Don't be confounded by Paul's teaching. Timothy teaches us don't be confounded by Paul's teaching. They're hard to understand for people who don't have knowledge. You have to be able to keep the law, statutes, commandments to understand its truth. And with that, we say shalom.